So today we're going to do a video here of this gorgeous 1969 Triumph T100R Series Daytona 500. And as you can see, the paint is absolutely beautiful. This is a good wood green and silver combination. The frame paint is actually original. Of course, the tank, the sheet metal tank and side covers, oil tank and fenders have been repainted, but they've done a fantastic job in the repaint. But like I said, the original paint is still on everything else. This is a really nice, sound, strong running Daytona. No leaks to speak of. I haven't even noticed any drops in the last several months on the garage floor. Not to say that it won't leak, but nothing, it's not hemorrhaging oil anywhere, so that's always nice to have a nice, tight, proper engine. So this one seems to be really tight. It's a 30, or no, I'm sorry, this is a stock bore 500 with MGO pistons, rings on a stock bore. Up top, new guides, new valves, new springs. Nothing done to the lower end. New clutch plates. Both steel and fiber plates have been replaced. It's got a really strong original charging system. It's got a brand new seal top battery and so on. It's got a stock Triumph seat, not a reproduction seat. It's actually a stock pan with remnants of the original Positive Earth decal on it. But things like this have been swapped out with Allen heads. A lot of Allen heads on this bike when the previous owner had gone through it, done everything, replaced everything with Allens. Still got the correct Smith gauges for this bike. They work, they light up, and the needles move, but you know, the speedometer actually works better than the tach. I'll show you here in a minute. The tach's a little bit wobbly. But anyway, let's give this dude a cold start. I'm going to turn the fuel on, obviously. I haven't started this thing in a couple of weeks, probably 10 days, more like 10 days. So we're dealing with a cold start. Got the fuel taps on. We're going to drown it out a little bit, not that much. And we're going to give him a kick and see if he makes a liar out of me. Again, usually one kick, but it might take two today, who knows. Now this is a cold start, and this 500 is a little bit cold-natured, meaning it'll start right up, but it'll take a little bit to get it warmed up to a good, proper idle. So kind of feather the throttle on it or take off down the road for a minute or so to get it warmed up. You can hear it's a little cold. It'll mellow out here in a minute. No smoke. No noises. There she goes. Typical Smith's tachometer all over the place. Got a good ammeter. It does work. It is showing charge, obviously. We got a headlight. We got a high beam and low beam that work properly on the switch. We got a great tail light as well as a great brake light. We got a really smooth shifting transmission here, no clunk going into gear, and all four gears, excuse me, shift great. I've been down the road on it many times. Highway speeds, thing handles great. It's numbers matching. It's a T100R, and I'll have better close-up pictures on the ad, but it's HC24476 in the stock casting. HC24476 T100R under original black paint on the frame. This is a reproduction made in England decal. A few things, just a few little freckles here and there on the chrome. Need to be cleaned up a little bit better. It's been in storage, but not bad. Fender braces are really nice. You know, they might need a little cleaning, but they're not bad. Made in England, the correct rims. A little bit of stuff here and there. You know, maybe a tiny spot of flaking every so often, but not terrible. Fork boots, I think this one over here has a little bit of dry cracking on it, but not bad again. I mean, it's not a mint condition bike, but it's a beautiful bike. It always gets a lot of attention. Okay, so this is a brand new amyl carburetor. It's jetted properly. I believe it has a 180 main in it for running a single on this Daytona with this manifold. However, I'll get to it in a minute. I've got the original. I've got a brand new additional amyl carburetor with the intakes if the guy wants to go back to Daytona twin carb, which is not a problem. These are Wassel OEM style mufflers. That's why it has such a good healthy note. They sound great. Like I said, rear braking works great, front braking works great. Yeah, all around, really nice sound bike. Everything works. It's got a strong electrical system. The rear rim, as you can see, has some rust, a little bit here and there. Some of it will clean up, some of it will not. You know, but it is a good presentable rear wheel. It's got new sprockets, and it also has new front and rear wheel bearings. They've been replaced with sealed bearings rather than the old ball bearings, or the old cage bearings. I'm going to turn the fuel off. Under the seats, real nice and clean. Things have been changed out with Allen heads here, as you can see, which, you know, it's not preferred, but the previous owner did that. New seal top battery, in case I didn't mention it. This has got the stock electrics in it, meaning stock points ignition. Nothing has been converted, but it does have a new cloth braided wiring harness that was put in probably 10 years ago, and it works really well. Inside of the fuel tank is, I think it's been lined. Yes, it's been lined, so no worries there. But yeah, as far as just a good sound, well-mannered 500 Daytona, this is a great bike. I mean, it's actually been dependable. Fire it up, take it down the road, and enjoy it type of a Triumph, which is sometimes unusual. It's been my experience. Got an extra carb here. This is also a brand new carburetor that was used only for a few weeks. That comes complete with the additional throttle cable and the choke. And then we've got the owner's book. Inside here is all of the specs, everything that was done to the bike when it was taken down, put back together. This is what it used to look like when it was first purchased. It was under red and white Bonneville paint, which was terrible. So it was put back to the way it should be. Then we've got a replacement parts binder that's included. And of course the stock intake manifolds for going back to the twin carb Daytona if you like. But like I said, it's extremely well mannered with the single carb. A lot of people swap them off, but it's good to have all the stuff if you want to go back to a true Daytona with the twin carbs, which that's a buyer's purchase, buyer's preference rather, if you want to do that. And you know, I probably would probably do that, just go back to the twin carbs. But if you're a novice and you're just getting into riding vintage Triumphs and you're looking for a Daytona 500, or you had one years ago and you remembered putting a single carb on and getting away from the hassle and frustration of synchronizing the twin carbs, this might be for you. But anyway, it's a great rider. It's a no smoker. It's a no leaker. And if you have any questions or anything at all, feel free to contact me anytime, and I'll go over everything with you as specifically as I can. And I think I mentioned that the gauges, I may be repeating myself, but the speedometer works better than the tachometer. The speedometer is kind of a little more accurate. The tachometer, as you saw, was kind of, you know, it had a mind of its own. But anyway, thanks for watching. If you have any questions, please feel free to ask anytime.